Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome to your hometown news. I'm April Frelke with my co-host Joe Minnie, and we will be adding Nick Kaufman tonight.
Yes, it's good to hear Nick. Hopefully we'll get to see and hear Nick.
Yeah, we hope it works out. We'll be zooming
with Nick
all the way to Tennessee with Moments in History.
Yes.
And I hope he's doing the Halloween stuff, history of the Halloween.
Yeah, I don't want to put him back him into a corner, but yeah.
Yeah, because we're not doing pumpkin contests tonight.
No,
we're not.
Yeah,
so it's Nick at the end of the show. So stay tuned if you guys have been missing out on Nick Kaufman.
Yes, we could all use a dose of Nick.
Well, our first guest is a Girl Scout working on her Gold Award project. She's been in the Girl Scouts since she was in kindergarten and is now a senior at the New Lisbon High School. Please welcome to our program via Zoom, Kendall Larson. Great to have you join Joe and I tonight, Kendall. Thanks for being with us.
Hi.
Well, good evening, Kendall. So tell us about your Gold Award project. Maybe tell us what it's all about.
So a couple of years ago, I earned my Bronze Award, which is the first award you can earn in Girl Scouts. And I did that by making fleece tie blankets for cancer patients. And then the second award I did was my Silver Award. And I made over 400 bags for the Touch Twice Clinic for the little activity bags for children while they waited in line for hours to get in. And then now the Gold Award is the highest award you can earn in Girl Scouts. And I have just started the past couple months working on it. And I am hoping to replace the playground equipment in Heritage Park in New Lisbon, because that's been there for a really long time. And so, yeah.
That's a big undertaking.
Wow, that is. And I, as a New Lisbon resident, I know exactly what you're talking about, Kendall. And I would love to see some of the playground replaced. But our viewers would love to help out with this. How can our viewers help you get this program started? Or what are some maybe the details, Kendall?
So recently I have gotten letters of support from the Lions Club and the City Council. I went to their meetings, gave a big spiel, and they are going to give me a letter of support. So my next step is to plan, fundraise, and just get everything off the ground pretty much. So a couple of nights ago, I made a Facebook page to just post pictures, post updates so everybody could see. And if you just look up Kendall's Playground Project on Facebook, you can join the group and see what I'm up to. And hopefully soon I can start fundraising, and we were approved to fundraise on Facebook actually.
Oh.
So we are hoping to get that started soon, so then that would be a nice way for the community to help.
What do you think about maybe doing a GoFundMe? Because that's a pretty popular way of raising money.
So we actually can't do a GoFundMe because it's a nonprofit. Okay. So we can't do that, but we can do a Facebook fundraiser instead.
So then, Kendall, if our viewers or people in the community wanted to make some donations to your project, will all that information then be on that Facebook page? It sounds like that's the main communication for you.
Yeah. Yep. And if they wanted to, we could have them, if they wrote a check or something, they could just write it to New Lisbon Girl Scouts and then send it to the bar or our house, and we'll eventually get it.
And you mean the body shop is a good place to make a...
Yep.
Because I think you're related to the body shop owners.
Pretty closely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my main question was, what made you think of the Heritage Park as your target for this project?
Yeah, inspiration.
So we kind of just sat down, tried to look at things in the community that could either be helped or we could add to the community. And I just saw the Heritage Park, and I knew that it's been there forever, and it could be updated, and it could be brand new for many kids for generations just to play on and to enjoy. So that's what, and I also want to have a wheelchair accessible area So then people in need can use that also.
That was a beautiful project. I'm excited for you.
I'm very excited.
Well, Kendall, thank you so much for coming tonight, and hopefully you do really well with this project. And the catering for cast and crew has been provided by Marco's Italian and American Grill in Warrens. Great food with a fun and relaxing atmosphere at Marco's. And flu season is upon us, and that next on Health Check 360. But first, we want to thank our program sponsors.
Hometown News is brought to you by Oakdale Credit Union, Moulter's Fresh Market in Tomah, Hardware Hank in New Lisbon, The Fun Company Game Room Store, The Little Cottage Home Decor and more in New Lisbon, and Easier Living Consultants in Camp Douglas.
Moulter's family-owned store brings you fresh. Feel healthy with a wide selection of organic foods, gluten-free products, certified black Angus beef, and handmade brats. Moulter's has a great selection of meats, so choosing can be tough. Just ask our butcher to help you make the perfect selection. Moulter's brings you fresh-packed deli meals for those on the go. And of course, our fresh market. Download our mobile app and start saving money today. Moulter's brings you fresh. Hardware Hank knows you have projects, lots of important projects, from paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
My name is Katie Shute, and I have lived in the Tomah area all my life. I had knee replacement and needed to be in a wheelchair for a while. So when I needed my wheelchair ramp, I thought of Easier Living Consultants right away. The whole thing was done within a couple of days. I would definitely recommend Easier Living Consultants for any project you have. It met up to my expectations and even exceeded them.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
Relax at Marco's Italian and American Grill in Warrens, Wisconsin.
You're watching it. 24.
Connecting you to the community.
Health officials are recommending that getting a flu shot is now critical during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. On this edition of Health Check 360, Tomah Health community health educator and registered nurse Julie Anderson explains what you should be doing to prepare for this year's flu season. Welcome, Julie. Great to have you with Joe and I. Thanks for having me.
So, Julie, flu season, it's happening right now. So why is it important that now people are getting flu vaccines in light of COVID-19?
Sure. So annual flu shots are really important, and this is about the time people typically get their flu shot. But the Wisconsin Department of Health and the CDC are both recommending this year that we get our flu shot by Halloween. And the idea behind that is we have two respiratory viruses potentially that could occur at the same time, so influenza and COVID. And since we don't have a vaccine for COVID, there's not a whole lot we can do outside of wearing our mask and social distancing to prevent that. So the flu vaccine gives us an opportunity to prevent getting influenza. So we don't want to overwhelm our hospitals and our healthcare systems with people having both influenza and COVID. So if we can get our vaccine now, we can prevent influenza cases from overwhelming the hospital.
As I'm listening to you, I never even thought of it. You could have the flu and COVID at the same time.
I mean, that is certainly possible to get multiple viruses. I suspect that's probably not very likely.
Oh, okay.
I hope anyway.
Right, that's the importance of the vaccine.
Right, right. But what we're thinking about is the fact that those seasons are overlapping each other.
Oh, okay.
And so people could somebody could have COVID and somebody could have influenza, and we could have higher cases of hospitalization.
Okay.
So do you think doing it now then is more important than waiting than you normally do in November, right before the snow flies and that sort of thing? So this is the time to like plan to go out. So like tomorrow would be probably the best day.
Right,
because Halloween is Saturday.
Right, go get your flu shot. So it takes 2 weeks for the flu vaccine to fully take effect. Okay. So you get the vaccine, and then it takes the body 2 weeks to develop that immune response. And so we're not seeing a lot of cases of influenza right now, but you really ideally want to have your vaccine before those cases start in the community. So it's hard to predict when that would be, but this is about the time of year we typically see that.
Okay. Julie, what are some high-risk groups of people that maybe should really get out there more so than some other?
Sure. So we think about people who are over 65 and could be at risk of getting the flu, young children, pregnant women, and then people who have health conditions, chronic health conditions like asthma or heart disease. And then we have to think about little babes. So kiddos can get the flu vaccine when they're 6 months old or older. So anybody under 6 months old can't get vaccinated. So the people that are around that baby, the parents, the siblings, the babysitters, family members, should really get vaccinated in order to protect and provide that protection to the babe too.
Right. So if they need a flu shot still, where do you suggest they go?
So we are providing flu shots at the Warren's Health Clinic, and the clinic is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you can call the clinic at 377-8792 to schedule an appointment. But the Monroe County Health Department is also doing flu vaccine clinics, and they are holding those throughout the county. The next scheduled community drive, and it's a community drive-through clinic, is November 5th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Recreational Park in Tomah.
That's Thursday.
At the fairgrounds. Okay. Yeah. And you can call the health department to pre-register to kind of make that process a little easier. And Monroe County Health Department's number is 608-269-8666. Is there a cost to the county health department doing the flu vaccines?
Yeah, most flu vaccine is billable through your insurance. Okay. So the health department, as well as the Warren's Clinic, we bill people's health insurance, and it's covered by insurance.
Well, Julie, thank you so much for coming. And I know the flu is an important thing we have to prevent. So thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, up next, a pumpkin spice cookie recipe on the latest edition of Flavor Wise. See you in a little bit.
I'm Dr. Rob Hulbert. I work here at the Warren's Clinic, and I do family practice here at the Warren's Clinic.
Warren's Clinic is conveniently located off Interstate 94 at Warren's and is now offering same-day or next-day appointments. Patients will receive exceptional care for minor illnesses and injuries from our expert staff.
We handle a large variety of different medical conditions here at the clinic, everything from laceration repair to pneumonia or breathing difficulties and other illnesses.
Learn more at tomahhealth.org.
This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
Moulter's family-owned store brings you fresh. Feel healthy with a wide selection of organic foods, gluten-free products, certified Black Angus beef, and handmade brats. Moulter's has a great selection of meats, so choosing can be tough. Just ask our butcher to help you make the perfect selection. Moulter's brings you fresh-packed deli meals for those on the go. And of course, our fresh market. Download our mobile app and start saving money today. Moulter's brings you fresh.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
I'm Nora Collins. You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
As the leaves and weather start to change, harvest time brings an abundance of warming fall flavors. Our palates transition from the light summer flavors to these rich, warm spices such as cinnamon, nutmeg, cocoa, and walnuts, which pair well with nutrient-rich pumpkins. So today we are going to prepare pumpkin cookies.
This episode is sponsored by Moulter's Fresh Market.
We are going to start out with giving some apple cider to get you in the mood.
Yay!
It's nice and warm. It should not be hot.
And this is like our cinnamon stick?
Yes.
Or in Jared's idea, the cinnamon straw to drink your cider from.
I mean, it could work.
It does work.
It does work. It was really good. Yeah.
That's pretty good. The cinnamon straw.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit loud though.
A little bit. It's a Slurpee straw.
So if you have kids on the side while you're preparing some cookies, that's a good way to keep them busy.
Oh, are you saying something, Dana? Like the children, give them something to do.
Yeah, keep Big Dum Dum happy. Give him something to do.
With the pumpkin cookies, we are going to mix the wet ingredients. So I just did the egg.
Okay.
And the pumpkin is considered one of the wet ingredients, so it does add moisture to our meal. So we are using fresh pumpkin today. You can, if it's not in season, because we have a limited time for fresh, you can use canned pumpkin as well.
And if you were going to use like a whole pumpkin,
I use the pressure cooker.
Oh, you smart genius. That's really easy.
You seed it and deskin it. You need to make sure that you get your skin off. And I put chunks, pretty big chunks, and threw it in the pressure cooker, 12 minutes on high, and it's done. So if you want to make even baby food and freeze it for later use or can it for later use for making pumpkin cookies. So instead of vegetable oil, I used walnut oil. So this is great for cookies because it has almost that toasty sweet smell to it. And you could add walnuts to this recipe as well. We only used a half a cup, and one of the reasons was because of the pumpkin. So with the pumpkin, you lower that oil amount, which is huge. Because how many calories per tablespoon?
130 per tablespoon.
So if we cut out a half a cup,
that's a lot.
That's a lot of calories.
That's a lot.
And we replaced it with pumpkin.
Yeah.
Which was low in calories. Instead of sugar, we are going to use maple syrup.
Okay.
If I use sugar, it would be 1 cup. Instead of 1 cup, I only used a half a cup. They still have the same amount of sugar per tablespoon, but it changes the recipe. So we used less.
Side to side, even comparison, but because like maple syrup or maybe like honey or like a sweeter flavor than just like regular sugar, we can use less.
Right. It is more of a natural choice. It is less processed. Pumpkins contain fiber with them. It helps slow down the absorption of sugar. So we see instead of a spike blood sugar, we see kind of this nice steady raise of energy. Okay. And then the dry ingredients, I added flour and baking powder. I have my spices, cinnamon, pumpkin pie spice, and then salt. So I'm adding a teaspoon of milk to the baking soda just to get it nice and mixed around so it'll mix in the batter better. Otherwise, you might get that clump of baking soda. I'm just going to combine them, and then I'll add in the baking soda. Having a cookie once in a while is okay. It can be part of a healthy diet, and you shouldn't feel guilty having a cookie occasionally.
Cookies make this noise when they're freshly baked and warm, and it sounds like somebody singing very sweetly songs of eat me, eat me.
One thing that I do, because like my husband and I, we love to bake, is we give a lot of it away.
Sharing is another way where you can have 1 or 2, and if you struggle with the moderation and it's going to be a temptation, hand them away. One scooper is perfect. This is a batter that is a little bit more moist, as you could see when I was making it.
So it's a little bit runnier.
Right. But they will rise, and they are more of a cake-like mixture.
I think I'll judge it by how it tastes.
Right.
Like making efforts towards baking a healthier cookie already changes the mentality. Because it's like you bake like regular cookies, you basically resigned yourself to sitting on the couch and eating cookies until you pass out. This is a slightly healthier cookie. Maybe I say no to one of them.
Or it could go the other way too, because it could justify, say, well, this is a healthy cookie, so I can eat more.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
It is still a cookie. It is still important to have moderation. We can make it healthy. Instead of the regular chocolate chips, if you noticed, I used mini chocolate chips. So it distributes that flavor and the sugar a little bit more. Or you could forego the chocolate chips completely and go to maybe a walnut. So then you add more fiber and more nutrients there. Now it's time to get them in the oven. So we have our cookies.
Yes.
All right, it would be my honor to let you have the first cookie.
Oh, wow, okay. That was the one I wanted.
That's what happens.
It's like a cakier texture, which you had said. It's really moist.
Yeah.
You can tell that it's not as sweet.
I actually kind of prefer not super duper sweet. So I really like that.
What do you think about adding walnuts? Would this be a recipe that you think walnuts would be good?
I would love walnuts. Definitely. Yeah, but like the texture crunch change, I would really like that.
No. And actually, these are gluten-free, so I did use a gluten-free flour with them as well.
You
that was a surprise.
Me.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know at all. Were you tricked? I was tricked.
Yeah. No, I didn't know. I wouldn't have guessed.
Delicious.
That's the challenge with people that are gluten-free. They have a really hard time enjoying the cookies, and they think they have to have a tasteless cookie, and everybody else gets the good cookies. So you can easily have the entire family eat the same dessert, and the integrity is really still there, and the flavor is still there. But I don't have to have a complete diet overhaul to increase my nutrition and decrease my calories and get into balance. You can have these little tweaks of what you eat on a daily basis. Like one of the reasons we did nachos and some of the other foods that we've done, because we just see how do we increase the nutrition and decrease the calories for more of a balance. When preparing your family favorite sweet treats, include fruit, anti-inflammatory spices such as cinnamon, nutmeg to boost the nutritional value. And remember, for best health, moderation is important for any foods with added sugar. Join us next episode of Flavor Wise, where we will prepare a meal with Thanksgiving leftovers. Thank you for joining us with Flavor Wise, encouraging you to choose flavor and live empowered.
Moulter's family-owned store brings you fresh. Feel healthy with a wide selection of organic foods, gluten-free products, certified black Angus beef, and handmade brats. Moulter's has a great selection of meats, so choosing can be tough. Just ask our butcher to help you make the perfect selection. Moulter's brings you fresh-packed deli meals for those on the go. And of course, our fresh market. Download our mobile app and start saving money today. Moulter's brings you fresh.
What's the more in the Little Cottage home decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the Little Cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage home decor and more, New Lisbon.
Hardware Hank knows you have projects, lots of important projects, from paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Well, and now it's time for Moments in History, and it's going to be with April and Joe until we can get Nick online.
Yes.
So we're waiting for Nick. But Joe, we've been playing Halloween trivia at our school this week.
Okay.
So I've got some Halloween trivia questions I can ask you. I may be off a little bit on some of the details.
All right. Hit me.
So the jack-o'-lantern we know we carve right now, right? It's very popular. Yes. What item was used back in history before jack-o'-lanterns were used?
Do you mean pumpkins?
Correct, right. Oh. What did they use? Yeah, what was used instead of the pumpkin to make the jack-o'-lantern?
Oh, boy.
In the early 1600s or 1400s.
Maybe some sort of gourd, maybe, or apples.
No apples, no gourds. You're
I'm way off.
You're off.
Turkeys?
No. Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. It's a root vegetable.
Well, squash. Squash.
No, squash is not a root vegetable.
Oh.
Squash is on a vine.
Not potatoes.
No, you're close though.
Yams then?
Closer. Starts with a T.
Tubers?
Turnips.
Turnips.
So they used turnips as the jack-o'-lantern originally.
How big does a turnip get?
I don't know how big. I guess.
Okay, all right.
So that was one of our trivia questions. So it's the turnip is what they use for the jack-o'-lantern.
No.
Okay. So another one is, what country did Halloween originate in?
The actual, like the trick-or-treating and all that? Or
Well, the idea
itself?
of the Halloween itself.
I imagine it stemmed off of All Saints Day, All Souls Day, and that sort of thing. So
yes,
it was a religious connotation.
All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve, yes.
So All Saints Day is November 1st.
Yep, and All Souls Day is 31st of October.
Right.
So I imagine there was some sort of religious start to that.
Yes. And I think when Nick had it in Moments in History, it had something to do with in the United Kingdom, or was in Ireland. And there was a name for it. I don't have Nick's script in front of me. Like,
Hallows Eve or something.
Something. But the idea was that they would scare off, you'd dress in a costume to scare away the evil spirits. So that, and then if you were out of your house, they wouldn't be drawn to your house, because you don't want to have evil spirits in your residence.
Well, I imagine back in the day when they used to think when you sneezed, your soul would leave your body, and you needed a God bless you to get the soul back in. So, so maybe some of the Middle Ages.
We're just making it up, aren't we, Joe? We're just.
But did the witches come in when we started the United States with the whole Salem witch trials, or was that back in the Spanish Inquisition when everybody was a witch?
I don't know that part. I just know some of the we got Nick. Nick.
Oh.
Is Nick? There he is.
Okay.
Okay, I think if we can go to Nick real quick, we have a couple minutes. We got 1 minute, Nick.
1 minute, Nick.
Do we have him on? I think we see him, but I don't know that we have audio. He looks great, folks.
Yes.
Doesn't Nick look great?
All dressed up for Halloween.
I don't think he can hear us.
That's too bad.
But we miss Nick. So I'll be doing trick-or-treating. Are you going to trick-or-treat? There's trick-or-treat hours going on.
I'll be handing out candy in Tomah.
Okay.
Imagine New Lisbon is doing trick-or-treating.
New Lisbon is 4 to 6 on Halloween. So
we have 2 hours as well. I think same amount of time in Tomah as well.
Yes. And the most popular trick-or-treat candy is?
Reese's?
Yes, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Yes.
All right. Yes, it is.
As it
and
should.
The second one is?
Twix. It better be Twix.
No, the second one is M&M's, because that was on our trivia as well. So I purposely bought Reese's Peanut Butter Cups
M&M's.
and some Sour Patch stuff.
Those aren't M&M's, though.
No. Yeah. So, well, we want to thank all of you for joining us this week, where we're connecting you to the community.
But not quite Nick.
You guys ever get me?